And here we go. What's going on, YouTube? JT's Reborn here. Welcome to my second ever comic book review. This time I'm going to be talking about Teen Titans issue number 20. Now, I did do a comic book, well, technically a graphic novel review of the book Godzilla Awakening. You can check that out on my channel. But this is my, second ever comic book review. And I read a lot of comic books, so I'm thinking, you know what, I could try this kind of unscripted format, just kind of going over the issues, some of my thoughts and criticisms and what I liked and disliked about them. And I felt like, there wasn't a better time to do it than now with Teen Titans issue number 20. I just saw Teen Titans go to the movies the other night, and I'm just like, you know what? Let's talk about the comic books that I talk about a lot. So, in case you don't know, I'm a big Teen Titans fan. I loved the TV show growing up. I read a lot of the issues in Marv Wolfman's run. I was trying to work through Jeff Johns' run, and I'm working on this run now. I started at the beginning of Rebirth, because I had gone for years not really reading any comic books, maybe just a trade paperback of a classic storyline, but not much outside of that. But for today, I thought I'd talk about this one because it's a new starting point basically for readers. Obviously, they had the start of Rebirth, which is the team at the beginning of Rebirth. Damian Wayne, he kidnapped Starfire, he kidnapped Raven, he kidnapped Beast Boy, he kidnapped Kid Flash, and then Aqualad kind of came in, and they were a team. And then they'd have the problem with that run was with Benjamin Percy's run. Was the biggest issue is it didn't really have a consistent tone because it was constantly interrupted. There was no good flow. After the first two arcs, the first two story arcs, it was kind of all over the place. And then they get interrupted by a crossover event. Then they had the Lazarus contract, and they go a quick issue or two, and then they immediately break up the team, so we don't have a chance to really connect to them. And then they have a standalone issue, and then they start going again, and then they break up the team again. It was just kind of a mess. They didn't really have a chance to shine. And I think having it once a month and, just constantly having crossovers and stuff, it kind of hurt the run overall. So basically we had the events of Justice League No Justice, which is a weird, complicated mess. And then basically the team broke up somehow. I don't really understand why the team broke up in the first place. Because if you read Justice League No Justice, there's never a moment where it's just the team is breaking up. There's never anything to tell me that this team broke up. It's just, we get a throwaway line by Batman where he's just Robin's off doing his own thing. And then the team just happens to be broken up. So we got this, and then we got Titans. So Raven, Beast Boy, Starfire are gone. Starfire shouldn't even be on the team at this point. She's a full-fledged adult. Beast Boy and Raven are, I think Raven I know for sure is still a teenager. So she should be on the Teen Titans in place of, at least one of these new characters. And then Beast Boy, I think he's still a teen. If not, he should still be on the team. It's just, at least those two should have been on the team. And Aqualad, I don't know what the fuck happened to him. He was on the team, and then he just was gone. There was no explanation, none of the books. It's just so scattered and all over the place. It's just really there wasn't a issue where we got to say goodbye to anyone. It was kind of just thrown out the window. It was we want to go in a new, edgelord type direction. So then we finally got the Teen Titans special, and I was really looking forward to reading that, and a lot of it was good, but then a lot of it really pissed me off, and I got really upset at it. I was just this is ridiculous, because of what they did with the character of Damian Wayne, which if you read Super Sons, he's supposed to start out unlikable. He's supposed to be someone you're just this guy's an asshole, but he's supposed to evolve over time, become a better person, and he was evolved past killing, because he started out, he was born, from Talia al Ghul, and Bruce Wayne. I know there's that stupid Deathstroke storyline that they're trying to hopefully wrap up soon because they call him he's the son of Deathstroke. And then why the fuck does it say Robin's son of Batman right here on the cover? It doesn't make any sense. But anyways, so Damian Wayne is supposed to progress, and a lot of that has to do with Peter J. Tomasi, who's pretty much my favorite comic book writer out right now, because anything that man touches is gold. Superman Rebirth was really good. Super Sons is incredible. Arguably my favorite comic book I've read ongoing, and it's coming back next week, which is really cool. And I love Super Sons, and I love that. And then we had Teen Titans, where it's there's an inconsistency in the way Damian Wayne's written. You have some writers who want to progress him in a positive way, like Peter J. Tomasi, who does a really good job humanizing him. And then you had Percy's run, which regresses him, and that's been the biggest problem with this character. You have people who want to, Tomasi, do the right thing, know how to write him. Then you have other people who come in, and every single time a new writer comes in, they immediately regress him and try and get him back to his old, more, sinister ways. And no, it shouldn't be that way. He should be progressing into a better person. I don't understand this need to regress characters constantly. So that's kind of an issue I have with the way his character is written. And then we had the Teen Titans special. I like the stuff with Kid Flash. I like the stuff with Red Arrow, aka Green Arrow's sister, Emiko Queen, and Wally 2 or Wallace or whatever. There's too many Wally Wests. And yeah, and then they had the stuff with Damian, and it's just like something terrible happens, and then they made it seem like he went back to his ways of killing, which if I were like Tomasi and I saw that, I'd be like flipping over tables and screaming, because it's just like, what the hell are you guys doing? I'm progressing this character to be better. I'm giving him a sense of humanity with Jonathan Kent being his best friend, best buddy, and he's helping him become a better person along the way. What the fuck are you guys doing? So if I were him, I'd be kind of ticked off at that, because it's just like, he shouldn't go back to killing. He should never go back to killing. He's gone through like the past like 5 or 6 years of development has been him ignoring that side. So it seemed like he killed a bunch of Black Mask's men in Black Mask. Although Black Mask, spoiler alert, he never really killed him. We don't know about the other guys. I think he just injured him. So we don't know for sure if he killed them or not. But if they did, then that's just a big fuck you. So basically the team broke up after Justice League No Justice. And in Titans, there's a throwaway line where Raven's just like, oh, Robin went rogue. We never got that issue where the team kind of broke it off and even talked about things. I mean, what a big middle finger to the previous round, which was kind of all over the place, which is disappointing and such. But yeah, so like this new direction with the Teen Titans, it's supposed to be a lot edgier now. Like I guess they're pitching it as Teenage Suicide Squad. So I guess let's get into some positives with this run. So this one's written by Adam Glass, who I believe wrote the New 52 Suicide Squad, which I haven't read, so I don't know if it's good or bad. But yeah, he took over in the Teen Titans special, and that special had some really good, strong stuff in there, and then had some stuff that equally pissed me off. It was kind of like an overwhelming positive, or like, fans were just really not like taking a liking to it. So it was a very bold issue, so I'll give it props there. But thankfully, Damian Wayne isn't killing people, although we do find out that he's being like a dickish warden where he's like holding his own prisoners and just seems to let them rot, which is again more character regression in a way. He's supposed to be becoming better. Like, look at Super Sons, and like they do show like progression in this run. He's a much more mature team leader. He cares about his teammates, although some of them he's not the biggest fan of. But yeah, so we got that, and now we have this new team. So let's go over the team really quick. So we have Robin, a.k.a. Damian Wayne, the son of Batman. I don't know what the fuck they're doing with that Deathstroke run. Wallace number 2, Kid Flash. And then we have Red Arrow, Emiko Queen, Green Arrow's sister. And then we have some new characters for the first time, although they make kind of brief cameos in the previous one. There's Crush, who is Lobo's daughter. There's Roundhouse, who's the human wrecking ball. And then we have Jin, a 4,000-year-old teenager. Okay, let me stop you right there. There's no fucking way you were a teenager if you were 4,000 years old. There's no way. You shouldn't be on the Teen Titans. You were an adult several times over. No, you should not be on the Teen Titans. Unless they give us an explanation where she just was a teenager, got trapped in like a genie's bottle thing, and was basically in cryostasis for like 4,000 years. Kind of like if in Futurama where Fry just is like cryogenically frozen. So technically he's, the same state and just traveled to the future. That's the only way I'll accept it, her being on the team. But her being a 4,000-year-old teenager makes no fucking sense at all. So let's go over the issue. There will be spoilers, blah blah blah, Doomsday Clock. And by the way, let's talk about this cover really quick. I mean, what the hell are you doing with Damian's lips? I mean, they look like they got Botox injections or something. It just doesn't look right. Blah blah blah. So I got the team. There's Crush. So they're facing off against Brother Blood. Then we get like flashbacks of Damian recruiting the team. So they do battle. We get Emiko Queen, Red Arrow, which is weird because earlier in like the previous run, it seemed like she had a thing for Damian Wayne, which is interesting because they're pretty much like the same character in a way. Let's see if I can browse pages. Let's just go up to, let's go here. So then we have Crush, who is Lobo's daughter. So we see Damian recruiting each member. They have to deal with Brother Blood. Now Crush had a few okay funny moments, but overall, I wasn't sold just yet, but we'll give her a chance. Roundhouse, on the other hand, feels like a surrogate Beast Boy. Let's see if I can find a picture of Roundhouse, because I was just too big a fan of him so far. He just felt like he was trying too hard, and his design just doesn't look very cool. So he was on YouTube And we have right there, look at, he's making Ice Ice Baby references. I'm going to call him Majin Blue, because that's what he reminds me of. Majin Blue with a bowl cut. And then we got here. And then we have this next character. Now, the most interesting of the new characters is this character, Jin, who they say is a 4,000-year-old teen, which is bullshit. You cannot be a teenager if you're 4,000 years old. I'm sorry. And her design is pretty unique. Let's go to guided view, actually. Her design here is pretty unique. It's got, like, some weird tattoos going on. She has, like, a weird headpiece there. And, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Oh, super fast, super fast, super fast. So, and, no, too much power. Can't let him see me. Can't let him find me. Now, this is a criticism I have. She feels kind of like a surrogate Raven. I mean, she's the most interesting of the new team, but it just makes me wonder, why not just keep Raven around if you're pretty much going to do the same thing? Crush at least didn't really feel like... I guess she's kind of like the Bruiser, but she's kind of like Lobo's daughter, but younger, so that's a bit different with this team. Roundhouse is just kind of like he can just, I guess, knock things over. He can turn into things and knock people over. I don't know. He's a human wrecking ball. And I'm just like... And he's just trying to be funny, but he's not funny. And, it's just with him. Yeah, but Jin seemed the most interesting. Because I'm like, what the hell is you're a junior. Who will see you, genie? I swear to God, if it's Trigon or something like that, I'm going to shit a solid gold brick. My name is Roundhouse. Oh, look at me. Look at this dude. Look at this design. I don't like this design at all. Like, I think the bowl cut really... Like, the blue is fine, but this bowl cut has to go. I mean, it's so out of place and just weird and awkward, and I don't know. Human wrecking ball. It's one of those things. By the way, I apologize for the format of this video. It's not great. But anyways, so let's go to the last part where I wanted to talk about, where Damian recruits Jin, which he does kind of in a different way. So, blah, blah, blah. Damian's being a gentleman, which is very weird. Like, he recruits this Jin girl. And I swear to God, if they have a relationship, it's pretty much an adult having a relationship with a child, which is not right. It's going to happen. I have a feeling. But it's going to be weird and awkward trying to read that. But anyway, so we have this character of Jin, and we have Damian Wayne over here, and he's being a gentleman when he recruits her. So that's kind of a new evolution in his character, I guess. He's definitely more progressed. We definitely see him more caring towards his teammates in this issue, as opposed to, the start of Rebirth where he was just a straight-up dick. And, Damian Wayne is an asshole. Like, that's kind of the charming part of his personality. But you got to know, like, the right limits to have with him being a jerk. Like, Super Sons had the perfect balance of it. Like, he'd have, like, a snarky attitude, but he would ultimately be a good guy. And, like, the banter between him and Jonathan Kent, because they were just, like, they made the perfect buddy cop team. And I'm so glad that Super Sons is coming back next week so I can start reading that again, which, read Super Sons. It's the best. It's some of the best writing I've seen in any comic book, because Peter J. Tomasi is just such an incredible writer, and it's funny as hell. So yeah, he recruits Jin, and we get a little bit of detail as to what her powers are later on, and then blah blah blah. They stop Brother Blood. Boom. I do like this shot right here. I think it just goes to show you, like, the difference in the team. So there's Crush and all them. Roundhouse is a fanboy. Blah, blah, blah. Then we see that Damian has his own little, clubhouse here. It's not Titan's Tower. And then we see that Jin can kind of change herself, kind of like Mystique. So she turns herself into this little teenager. Blah, blah, blah. We see that, Crush is really unstable. And she has... I do like her. I just noticed her slippers right there, little teddy bears. And then we have Jin. Robin wouldn't like this behavior. What do you really know? And then we see some of the stuff. Damian's taking his prisoners. He's throwing them. He's chaining them up. He's locking them down right here. So welcome to hell. So this is the final panel of the issue. I know, spoiler warning, but this is part of a review, so I'm just kind of showing you what it looks like. I didn't give you the whole issue. But yeah, so this is kind of, like, interesting. Like, I guess... He did shoot him in the head, but he knew it was bulletproof, so he kept him alive. I don't know. I'm not a fan of that. And Atomic Skull, wasn't he kind of a good guy? Or didn't he reform in, like, one of the books? It's just... I don't know. It's just... It feels like more character regression. It feels like they just want to so badly make him a bad guy. They just do. They just desperately do. They want to make him a bad guy. And then, like, other dumb things that they're doing at DC is they want to make Harley Quinn a good guy. it's dumb. He should not be this ruthless anymore. It blows my mind. I mean, like, I can understand some of his point of view. Like, if he locked him in, say, I don't know, like the Phantom Zone, I could understand that. But this, it's just, it's not working for me. Like, I have very mixed feelings about it. Like, if he just kind of threw him in like his cell, like a containment cell, that'd be fine. But he's got him chained up by the neck. He's being kind of like savage and, you know, a real jerk. Like, he's good to nice people, but he's bad to bad people, which, you know, it distinguishes him a bit from the other Robins, but it's just he's done so much progression, and it feels like they're regressing and regressing and regressing on certain areas, and that's really frustrating as a reader. But still, I did enjoy this issue. Like I said, I have my gripes with it. Some things, it's just we'll have to like wait and see. We learn a bit more about this new threat, apparently called the Other, and apparently Damian's going to have a secret mentor, which if it's fucking Deathstroke or Talia al Ghul or Ra's al Ghul, I'm going to like shit a solid gold brick of disappointment. The only one I'll accept really is like if it's Jason Todd. Like if it's Jason Todd, I think that'd be kind of cool. But yeah, I'm just like, and plus we just had issues not too long ago where it was like before the Batman and Catwoman wedding, where it was just like Damien. It was the first prelude. It was the only really good prelude because the rest of them were okay. Where it was just Robin versus Ra's al Ghul or Ra's al Ghul or however the hell you want to say it. And basically, Ra's was saying stuff like, "Yeah, you're destined to be this evil person." He's like, "No, I'm not. I'm like my father's son." And it deals with his insecurities and had him bonding with Selena Kyle. It was a very touching ending, which unfortunately with DC they had the wedding plans and then they just gave everyone the middle finger with that, because I'm like, oh, that would have been neat and interesting. I don't see this need where superheroes have to be depressed all the time. I know Batman has his depression issues, but he's not depressed all the time. You know what I mean? Like there's been moments where he has like levity and stuff. And then this need for like, oh, he can't be Batman if he's married. I think that's really stupid. Or like some of the stuff that I heard at the San Diego Comic-Con when they had the DC panel, it was like Dan DiDio. He's just like, well, that's like the last Batman story if he's married. That's the final issue. And we just don't want that type of Batman. That's an Elseworld story Batman. I was just like, are you kidding me? What's wrong like with him getting married? What's the big deal about that? I mean, I don't see what such a problem is with Batman getting married to Catwoman. I mean, if anything, it showcases you're willing to take some risk and go into a new direction. But that wedding issue was a big middle finger to everyone who picked it up, wanting to see this wedding, and then you just throw it out the window. So there was such a troll, and then they spoiled it too beforehand, which I'm just like, my God, that was the only thing that was keeping me interested in that Batman run was this wedding. I was just like, okay, let's see where it goes from here. After that, I'm just like, I mean, the issue afterwards was pretty good, but the majority of that run, it's just been kind of all over the place. And one thing that bugs me, too, about, like, this, and just kind of rant on, like, the state of comic books, too, is just, like, Batman has a son, you know? Where is he? Like, why isn't he around when his kid's there? Like, he was there, like, he's more there for, like, it seems like with Duke Thomas and that than he has been with his own son. Like, look at the Batman comics right now, like, the ones that Tom King is doing. Damian was not in, like, any fucking issues. Like, especially, like, when you factor in that, like, Selena Kyle was going to be a stepmom. And it's just, like, why didn't we have them interact at all? Like, there was one story arc called The Rules of Engagement where they interacted. And it just blows my mind because it's just, like, it's kind of an important thing. You know what I mean? Like, you'd think Bruce Wayne would want to have his son interact, or you'd think you'd have Damian interacting with Selena Kyle. That's kind of a big deal. It's a big deal because these are the two most important people in Bruce Wayne's life, his son and his future wife. So why weren't they interacting at all? Why didn't they like develop that relationship at all? The only thing that got any bit of development was the prelude to the wedding. That was it. And I think that was kind of dumb. But yeah, it just kind of bugs me how Batman is not around for his son in like anything. Like Damian doesn't appear in the Batman books. Like he maybe like one issue or so of Detective Comics. I'm just like, where's his son in all of this? I mean, why is he not there? Like, why is everybody not like crossing over a lot more? It kind of bugs me because it's just like we may get like a cameo of that here and there, but for the most part, it just seems like he doesn't care or he's just not there at all when his son's around. But that's just me, because like when Jonathan Kent, he's in pretty much all the Superman stuff. Like he's in Superman Rebirth, he's in Superman, or it's not Rebirth anymore. It's in whatever Bendis has going on. Which, by the way, like there's a rant about that on another day, but that's just that's kind of bugging me too. But anyways, I think I've rambled on long enough. This is an unscripted video, so like I just want to test it out. Just put it out there, see what people think. But yeah, so that's my brief little review on Teen Titans issue number 20, and just my overall thoughts on the state of kind of the way like DC Comics is going. Just kind of getting off topic. I got to do a discussion video talking about the state of comics with DC, because the start of Rebirth was really good. And then it kind of got off track a bit when they started switching creative teams. Like Superman Rebirth, really, really good. Then they took Tomasi and that off, and Gleason off that book, which is a disappointment. Then we had Action Comics, which is nowhere near as good as what Tomasi and Gleason were doing. And then I guess the good news is Tomasi's going to Detective Comics, so now we can incorporate, Batman and Robin storylines, because we have not had a Batman and Robin storyline at all. We haven't had an issue where it's just Batman and Robin, and God knows how long. I can't even remember the last time we had one of those issues. So hopefully Tomasi will do something with that, and maybe he'll just kind of negate a lot of this development with things. So the Teen Titans, I can the direction they're going with, I can see a little bit more edginess, but I don't see the good that's going to come with this. Because just like every time somebody locks up all these prisoners like this, it goes horribly wrong. And I'm just so tired of regression and then just showing it all over again. It's just like, just move forward already. Do something cool with it. You know what I mean? But I am curious about this new group. She's the most interesting. He's the least most interesting. I need more of her to understand more. Kid Flash, Wallace West is okay. Emiko Queen's pretty cool. She's basically like Damian's like female counterpart. Like they're pretty much like the same person. So there's that. But anyways, I look forward to the next issue. It definitely has me curious to see where it's going to go from here. And yeah, if you guys like this video, be sure to hit the like button, comment below. This is, like I said, this is unscripted, so it's kind of all over the place, and I'm just trying to testing out a few things. Because like if I spent all the time writing this, I don't think I'd ever get it out there. But yeah, so let me know your thoughts below. We could talk about this issue. What are your thoughts on the states of DC Comics and such? And yeah, I think that's going to be it. Thank you so much for watching. Hit the bell for notifications. Follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/SeanJTKing. And I'll see you all later. Teen Titans, you can do this. Come on, Adam Glass. I have faith in you. I have faith. You are a good writer. But just don't make him a killer again. Just don't make him a killer again. It's stupid. Never. Just never again. It should not be that way. It's regressing the past couple years and just feels like a slap in the face to Peter J. Tomasi. So, yep. All I got to say. Take care now. Bye-bye then. I'll see you next time.